G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Caitlin. I'm an American writer living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. And I've lived here for about 2.5 years, and one thing that people ask over and over again is how is the food different here in Australia compared to the States? Not just when it comes to what you see in the grocery stores, but when it comes to things like fast food. How does Macca's in Australia compare to Macca's in the States? Or what about Hungry Jack's and Burger King? So I figured, why not actually take a look? Why not actually start comparing some of these places? Because even though I've eaten in places all across Australia, that doesn't necessarily mean I've tried everything that's sort of comparable to what's in the States. And today we're trying cookies, which are actually cookies from the Cheesecake Shop here in Australia compared to Crumbl cookies over in the States. Yes, obviously these are not the same companies, they're not owned by the same companies, but the Cheesecake Shop just put out a line of cookies that look exactly like the cookies that you see in Crumbl with that iconic icing on top. So let's have a taste test. Let's see how the Cheesecake Shop holds up to Crumbl cookies over in the States. Are they good? Are they worth it? Or is it just a gimmick? So grab a bicky, grab a cuppa, and let's get right into this video. So these are the cookies. There's actually 3 of them that the Cheesecake Shop has out right now. And let me tell you, just looking at these, they're massive, they're huge. I can smell the sugar coming from these already, you guys. It's kind of amazing. But that also means I'm definitely going to need to hit the gym after this video. Look at those. How amazing do those look? If that does not make you hungry, I don't know what would. Also, if that doesn't put you into a diabetic coma just looking at it, I don't know what would. This smells insane. This sugar, the chocolate, I am so excited and also so nervous because this is going to put me into such a sugar rush for the rest of the day. So this one is their red velvet cookie biscuit. I'm calling it a cookie because they look exactly like Crumbl cookies over in the States. I know you guys are probably going to go nuts in the comments for me calling these cookies the whole time. Cookies, biscuits, when they look like this, it's practically a cake. I mean, come on, it's almost an interchangeable word at this point. You can just smell the sugar coming off of this. I am really excited, actually. Oh, that's good. You guys, that is good. So I don't know if you can see it. It looks like it almost has like this cheesecake little center in it. This is amazing. Don't get me wrong. This is a sugar bomb, you guys. My sweet tooth has a sweet tooth, and this is almost too sweet for me. Now I'm going to have that Hosier song stuck in my head. But this is amazing. The cream cheese frosting, it's not cloyingly sweet, the frosting. And you get these big, thick chunks of white chocolate chips in it. But I feel like with the frosting and the sprinkles and the white chocolate chips and just how much sugar's in the dough itself, this is definitely a sugar bomb, but it is so good. I want another bite, but I have 2 more cookies and 2 cake pops to get through. So I'm putting this one down. We're moving on. I haven't been super excited to try this one. This is their Biscoff cookie, and it's supposed to be like a cinnamon sugary kind of cookie on the bottom, I guess sort of like a snickerdoodle. And then they've got their frosting on top, and then of course they've got a Lotus Biscoff cookie. I'm not a crazy fan of Biscoff. Like, it's okay, but I feel like it's so overhyped. It's basically cookie butter, and it's okay. I don't understand why everything needs to have Biscoff flavored stuff now, but let's see how they did with the cookie. Don't get me wrong, I love cookie dough as much as the next girl, but these taste so underbaked. It's like an underbaked snickerdoodle. Like, just look at how soggy and wet that dough looks in the middle. This tastes so incredibly underbaked. Don't get me wrong, the dough is delicious. It's like that cinnamony, sugary kind of dough. Could do without the Biscoff cookie on top. Even the frosting on top isn't that bad. It's not cloyingly sweet. Like, this one isn't nearly as sweet as the red velvet one is, but it's so underbaked. I feel like I'm just eating raw cookie dough. And don't get me wrong, I love raw cookie dough, but this is not what I want to bite into when I see something that it looks like a cake. And it's just raw in the middle. Not least, we've got their chocolate hazelnut biscuit cookie, whatever you want to call it. So it's got those little Toblerone pieces on the top, a little bit of like gold dust in the middle, which is odd. And then there's chocolate frosting on the top. And it looks like this is just a regular chocolate chip cookie from the outside. But now I'm a little worried that we're going to have the same issue as the Biscoff one because this feels raw. This feels so underbaked, you guys. I mean, That is not really crumbly. I'm gonna have to sweep on my floor now. That was not a smart move on my part, but yeah, this, I don't have high hopes for this. I call it, it's definitely underbaked. Oh, it's like not as underbaked as the other one was, but still definitely way underbaked for a cookie, a biscuit. And don't get me wrong, I also like underbaked cookies to a certain extent. But this is that weird mix of like, it's just a little too raw to enjoy it, but it's a little too overbaked for it to just be a cookie dough. Like, it's so soft I can't even break it like apart in the middle to show you guys. Like, I wanted to like do one of those videos where like you crack it in half and you can see, but the dough's just so soft there's no way it'll hold up. Let me just pluck one of these Toblerone pieces off and see if it's any better a little bit further in. I really wanted this to be good, and don't get me wrong, this isn't a bad cookie by any stretch, but just like look at the indents of my finger on the side of this. It's so raw, it's so underbaked. The taste isn't bad though, I gotta say. The frostings on these aren't cloyingly sweet. The cream cheese one's probably the sweetest, but it's also on the sweetest cookie overall. Their chocolate hazelnut one, I get almost no hazelnut, which I'm fine with. I'm not a big hazelnut person, but it's not a very strong chocolate taste either. It tastes just like a regular chocolate chip cookie with a little bit of a not too sweet chocolate frosting on top. It's not bad, it's not great. Like, I'm definitely not gonna order this one again. I would consider ordering the other two just by taste, but this does nothing for me. So I also went a little overboard and picked up 2 cake pops as well, because I wasn't thinking Crumbl when I saw these, but if you've had Starbucks in the States, you've seen their cake pops everywhere. They've been a big thing for like well over 10 years. I remember, I think they came out when I was in uni, and I figured why not give these ones a try? They're already falling apart. No idea what to expect. Like, this is, it's rustic, it's very homemade-esque. Just look at the glob of frosting and sprinkles and stuff on the side. I can imagine kids going nuts for this. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love sugar, but even this looks like it's gonna be way too much for me. Oh my god, this is so much sweeter than the red velvet cookie was. Kids who love sugar would go nuts for this. But the sprinkles, there's such thick chocolate frosting on it, and like I barely got into the actual cake bit, and that was a pretty decent chunk I took out of it. There's just so much. This is so sweet. That's insane. I'm almost scared to try the regular, just full-on chocolate one now. I think it's gonna have the exact same issue, but oh, wish me luck. I'm done with the sugar. I'm ready to tap out. This is so much. This is way too much. Guys, I feel defeated. I've never found anything that was too much, too sweet, too sugary. I love desserts. Like I said, my sweet tooth has a sweet tooth. But that cake pop with all the sprinkles on it, wow. I've found my limit. I found a sugar limit. I didn't know it was possible. I thought the limit does not exist, but apparently the Cheesecake Shop has found it. So for Americans out there, if you miss Crumbl cookies, these are not really going to hold up to like the Crumbl cookie type biscuits, cookies that you're used to getting in the States. They're not bad, but don't go into them thinking that they're anything like Crumbl cookies, because they don't taste anything like Crumbl cookies. I'm wondering if maybe I was just unlucky and got a slightly undercooked batch when it came to 2 out of 3 of them. So cookies by themselves are not that bad. They're not the best cookies you've ever had. I can say that hands down. Even in Australia, those are not even close to the best cookies I've ever had. Biscuits, the best biscuits I've had in Australia. And when it comes to cookies in the States, Insomnia cookies is better than that. Crumbl cookies is way better than that. They just don't hold up. Whew, okay, I feel like I'm going to need to either go to the gym soon or at least take a walk around the block to get some of the sugar out of my system. But that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions besides, like, I've mentioned Macca's, I mentioned Hungry Jack's. If you have any more suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. I know there are so many fast food places. I could really turn this into like a really interesting series, I think. So let me know in the comments what sort of stuff you'd want me to check out, what sort of stuff you'd want me to try and compare from Australia to America. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really, really does help support me. It helps support this channel so much in the algorithm, you guys. I really do appreciate your support. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I just spent the last 20-some minutes eating cookies on camera. How is this my life?